Hello everybody, this is Danny
and Wanda
from Deep South Homestead. We're out here today trying to hoe this garden. It's something that we have to do here all the time because we have exposed soil, weeds come up. It sure would be nice if we could do back to Eden and it worked here.
Oh, I know. And you know, with our ants and termites and things, we've tried it, it doesn't work. Even with the leaves, our back to nature.
Our back to nature, yeah.
We still had weeds come through the leaves. So
why don't we just show them a little bit about the weeds in the leaves and how they come, weeds and the termites, how they come through.
Well, why don't we go to Starry's? Can we go to Starry's?
You want to go to Starry?
I think we'll go to Starry's.
I love her garden.
Let's talk with Starry about back to Eden and how she does it and why we can't.
You know what? Let's do that. Come here. Starry, here we come, girl.
Danny, what did you do? We're on
Starry's channel. Oh my God!
Goodness.
Starry!
And here we are. I don't know how it happened, but look who I found in the virtual reality world. And we are kind of in a like a termite back to Eden a virtual world, and we're going to talk about termites and back to Eden gardening. And look at that. Are you guys ready?
We need to check out how you do your back to Eden and why we can't have back to Eden.
Yeah. To me, and they've been saying the same thing. Starry, we're using back to Eden garden method, and we're getting carpenter ants. We're getting termites. And so why don't you share your termite story with everybody? So, you know, they don't feel alone. It's like a support group, the termite support group. You're ahead of it.
Okay, well, first thing you have to realize is that where we live at here in our southern climate,
In Mississippi,
we're in South Mississippi, we have a lot of heat, we have a lot of humidity. Termites are really bad here. Well, it doesn't matter, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
They're just in the soil. And the carpenter ants, they crawl all over our deck, they come into our house. I mean, they do all these things. I mean, they're just in the soil here in this climate.
On the head. The termites are in the soil. The carpenter ants are in the soil. They live in the soil. So if you live in an area where you already have these insects in the soil, if you put a pile of mulch, I don't care if it's wood chips, if it's bark, if it's rubber that's been shredded, sawdust, that actually creates an environment for them to live. It doesn't create termites, it creates an environment which they really like. And in fact, I wrote down mulch doesn't attract, but it invites. It invites. So,
yeah, we had sawdust brought in 2 years ago. A neighbor had a sawmill. We brought it in and piled it. And within 1 month, I went to put it around something and it was full of termites.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, yeah, that is incredible. So I think the great discovery for a lot of people who are wanting to do the back to Eden garden method, and they're frustrated because they're getting ants and termites, it's not the method. It's not the method. The bottom line is no cover is going to work, unfortunately. You know, if you live in an area like you guys in Mississippi that already have those insects in the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now we are doing what we call a back to nature garden.
Okay.
Which is about 5 to 6 inches deep with leaves, and we're going to show that on our video here.
Nice.
Even though we do that and we drive our wooden stakes in the ground to stake our tomatoes with or anything like that, we pull our stakes up. I'm going to show you a clip right here of what our stakes look like when we pull them out of the ground. There's actually termites in them.
Wow.
You see this stake here? This stake was driven in the ground in March of this year. This is July. The termites have completely begun to riddle and eat this. See those termites coming out of the end of this stake? Look at them. They're already in this one. See them coming out?
I've had people contact me about the fire ants too. Yeah, wow.
Because see, that stuff heats up.
Right.
And when it heats up, fire ants love a warm environment. So they,
You're right.
they get up into it, begin to build beds.
You're right.
And it doesn't matter if we do it 4 to 6 inches deep. We have certain weeds here even. One of them's called a mimosa weed. It will come up through 6 inches deep of mulch and come through the top of it.
Yeah.
This is the mimosa weed. It is an invasive weed that has been here now for about 5 years. We didn't have it before. It came in, I don't know if it was with migratory birds, storms, what brought it in here, but this thing has an root system on it that's just out of this world. Let me shake some of the dirt off of it. You see the root?
All right, people, but this is Starry, Danny, and Wanda want to make sure that you know that there is hope. There's hope. There's always hope. We get so wrapped up in the Back to Eden garden method, and if it's not working, there's alternative things that we can think about. So, number one, I just want to real quickly before we go back to Danny and Wanda. The type of wood chips that you can use, there are actually some woods that termites don't like, believe it or not. There are a couple species, but you still have to be very careful with implementing them in your garden. From my research, I found out that cypress, I think it's called cypress heartwood, is termite resistant, and some cedar. And Danny pointed out to make sure it's red and not western. But Danny even talked about you still have to be very careful with those types of woods because these dirty termites, they're terrible, right? I mean, they're terrible. They eat like everything.
They will.
We actually have two kinds of termites here. We have a burrowing termite and a flying termite.
Okay, I don't even want to hear anymore because you guys are like cursed with these termites. I mean, come on. We have stink bugs. That's all we've got. And they got termites. It's unbelievable. But besides, there's hope in choosing some of these termite-resistant woods. Danny and Wanda have a huge, gorgeous garden. Gorgeous garden. And you know what they do? They just use the conventional gardening method, which is, why don't you just explain what you do for your garden?
Here we have lemongrass on the left with sweet potatoes. We have okra coming up there and that. Peppers, cucumbers, and squash there. And these are our field peas, our pink-eyed purple hull field peas. Welcome to our garden, Starry.
Garden.
We use.
We go in, we break the ground, we till it up.
There you go.
We put in our amendments into the soil.
There you go.
We go back, we plant directly into the dirt.
Yeah.
When it comes up, it's called a hoe.
It's called a hoe. People use hoes? I didn't know that. That's awesome.
We use the hand method. We pull weeds.
It's called
There you go.
pulling them up.
Yeah, it's called pulling the weeds.
Exactly.
We often sit and talk to one another in the garden and go, wow, what would it be like if we just did back to Eden?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be
And,
great if it worked.
yeah, and you know what? Go ahead.
We also do like several gardens, and we don't have just a small garden. We have
about 3 acres of garden.
yes,
Yeah.
and we couldn't do
That's a
back
lot.
to Eden because
That's a lot.
it would cost a fortune
Yeah.
if we could to do that much. So you have to pull weeds, or you
Yep.
have to plow, or let it get head high.
Okay.
One of those.
And I'm so glad you're talking about that because, you go on YouTube and everybody's on the bandwagon with the no-till and the Back to Eden. And yeah, we want less labor, less work with our gardens, and we want to conserve water and build soil, and the Back to Eden wood chip method, no-till, really does that. But it doesn't mean that the old-fashioned pulling weeds and tilling and using the hoe doesn't work. It's worked for centuries. So, if you're in that area where you have termites and ants, there's hope. You just go back to what men and women have been doing since the pioneer days.
Yes.
Right?
Old-fashioned.
The old.
garden.
There you go. There you go. Awesome.
Labor-intensive.
Yeah. But you know what? But look at the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
That that is labor that is feeding you, and it's an investment in yourself. And you're doing it. You're doing
We
it.
just don't want people to be discouraged.
Exactly.
Because you do have to pull weeds and things, but we have canned so much food out of our gardens And we don't go buy any vegetables from the grocery
Yeah,
store.
isn't it amazing? It's amazing.
We buy nothing like that. Anything that can come out of a garden that we eat is not bought from a
Yeah.
store.
So, I guess the bottom line is that we want people to know that if the Back to Eden garden method is failing you and you're having problems with termites and ants, that there is hope. There's hope. And you do have to think outside the box. And sometimes you have to go back into the past to revisit the old-fashioned ways, which still do work. And Wanda and Danny are living proof of that. And it's all about being self-sustainable in any form or way and using whatever method works, right?
That's what we try to tell people, Starry, is that whatever works for you
Yes.
in your environment, do it.
Amen.
Don't go on YouTube and try to create something that doesn't work for you.
Yes.
Do what works. Find an old person.
Yes.
Talk to them.
When we're presenting what works for, like me at, our homestead and what works for you and your homestead, it may not necessarily work for them. And we were talking about one size shoe doesn't fit all. And you got to make it work for yourself. Got to make it work for yourself. And there's great hope out there. So, all right, we're going to go re-teleport ourselves because I need to go back home to Idaho.
I can't go to Mississippi. I want to stay where you're at.
Okay.
It's gonna be cool.
All right, you guys. God bless you. Thank you so much for spending time. And I think this is really going to help people. I really do. It's going to open some doors and some options. All right.
Yes.
God bless from my homestead to yours.
Yes, from
Bye,
deep
guys.
south to Idaho.
From Starry Hill or off grid. Bye-bye.